Urgent Chicago Bears fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Chicago Bears updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey, Bears fans, I hope you're as excited as I am because today we've got some interesting news that could shake up the NFL landscape and, more specifically, impact the Chicago Bears in a way you might not expect. You see, in the whirlwind of NFL free agency, a lot of big names have already found new homes, contracts have been signed, and teams are reshaping their rosters for what promises to be an exciting 2024 season. But believe it or not, there's still a significant player out there, a guy who's been a star in this league and who could still make a splash somewhere in the near future. And, yes, this is someone who was once a key piece of the Bears' offense before moving on. His name? Keenan Allen. That's right, the veteran wide receiver who has spent most of his career with the Los Angeles Chargers, but who was briefly a Chicago Bear now finds himself on the open market, still searching for his next landing spot. Now, I know what you're thinking. Keenan Allen, at 33 years old, is not the player he was during his peak years, when he was putting up 4 100-catch seasons in just 5 years. Those were some of the most impressive, consistently productive years for any wide receiver in the league. But even now, despite the wear and tear, Allen still retains that savvy, route-running ability, that knack for creating separation, and a game sense that's hard to teach. And for a team looking for veteran leadership, reliable hands, and a professional attitude, Allen remains a compelling option. His contract with the Bears in 2024, which was an $80.1 million deal over 4 years, has expired, and he's now exploring new opportunities. The question is, where will he end up? Well, there's been some buzz about potential landing spots, and one team that's been floated as a possible fit is the Arizona Cardinals. NFL.com's Jeffrey Chadiha recently mentioned the Cardinals as a team that could benefit from adding someone like Allen. Why? Because Arizona has some key pieces that could really complement Allen's skill set, especially if they want to unlock the full potential of their young star, Marvin Harrison Jr., who was the 4th overall pick in last year's draft. Imagine that, a young, promising receiver paired with a seasoned veteran like Allen. It's a combination that could be quite dangerous. Chadiha pointed out that Arizona leaned heavily on their young receivers last year, like Michael Wilson and Greg Dortch, but that might not be enough for a team that showed flashes of being closer to a playoff contender than many initially expected. And let's be honest, the Cardinals are at a bit of a crossroads. They've got Kyler Murray under center, coming back from injury, and they need to surround him with reliable targets. Allen could be that dependable, slot-oriented receiver that helps smooth out some of the passing game's wrinkles. Yes, he's 33, and he's not the explosive player he was during his prime, but his route running, his ability to find soft spots in zones, and his experience make him an asset for any offense trying to find consistency. Now, for Bears fans, it's worth noting that even though Allen was traded to Chicago in 2024 after his deal with the Chargers expired, his time here was relatively short but impactful. He finished his stint with the Bears with 70 receptions, 744 yards, and 7 touchdowns, solid production, especially considering the team was still trying to build around young talent and establish a new identity. Still, his experience and professionalism are qualities that a lot of teams highly value, especially those in the playoff hunt or with young quarterbacks who need a steady target. But let's switch gears a little and talk about the broader picture. The Bears, as we all know, are in a bit of a rebuilding phase, but they're also trying to accelerate their timeline with some aggressive moves in free agency and the draft. They've invested heavily in their defense and are looking to add pieces that can help them contend sooner rather than later. So, while Allen isn't a Bear anymore, his potential signing elsewhere is a reminder of how the NFL remains unpredictable, how veteran talent still matters, and how rosters are constantly shifting in the offseason. And speaking of the Bears, this team has an intriguing mix of young talent and veteran leadership. Justin Fields, the young quarterback, is entering his 3rd year and is eager to prove he can lead this team to the playoffs. The offensive line has seen some improvements, but there's still work to do to give Fields the protection he needs to unleash his full potential. The wide receiver core, meanwhile, is a mix of promising young players and some experienced veterans, but adding a veteran like Allen, or even just the possibility of him landing in Arizona or another team, puts the league on notice that veteran receivers are still highly sought after. Now, let's talk a little about what Allen brings to the table on the field. Even at 33, he's a savvy route runner, someone who knows how to create separation and find soft spots in defenses. His hands are reliable, and he's shown in the past that he can be a go-to target in clutch moments. With 70 catches for nearly 750 yards and 7 touchdowns during his time with the Bears, he demonstrated that he can still produce, even if he's not the explosive playmaker he once was. And that's exactly what teams are looking for, someone who can step in and immediately contribute, especially in third-down situations or in the red zone. But, of course, the NFL is a business, and the market for veteran wide receivers is always fluctuating. Some teams prefer to develop their young talent, while others seek experienced players to mentor and stabilize their passing game. The Chargers, Allen's former team, still might be interested in bringing him back, depending on how their roster shapes up. Alternatively, teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, the Cincinnati Bengals, or even the Baltimore Ravens could be looking for that veteran presence to help bridge the gap and add some depth to their receiving core. And don't forget, Allen's leadership and professionalism are qualities that can't be measured by stats alone. Younger players look up to him, and his work ethic sets a standard in the locker room. That's something teams highly value, especially as they prepare for the grueling grind of the NFL season. His experience in high-pressure situations, playoff games, and multiple Pro Bowls makes him a valuable addition for teams aiming to contend. Now, while the buzz around Allen's next move isn't as loud as it is for some other free agents, it's important to keep an eye on this situation. The NFL offseason is a fluid process, and sometimes, the most impactful signings happen later in the offseason or even just before training camp. Allen's name could resurface in trade rumors or free agency, and when it does, it's going to be interesting to see which team manages to land him and how they plan to utilize his talents. So, fans of the Bears and NFL alike, this story is a perfect example of how veteran talent still plays a crucial role in the league, how the landscape is constantly shifting, and how every offseason brings new surprises. Whether Allen lands in Arizona, returns to another team, or possibly even considers a different destination, one thing is clear: his experience, leadership, and on-field skills remain valuable in this league. And as fans, we should stay tuned because the NFL offseason never sleeps, and the storylines are just starting to unfold. Now, let me remind you, this isn't just about a player moving teams, it's about how these moves can influence a team's entire season, how they can change the dynamics of a division, and how veteran players like Allen can be the X-factor for a playoff push or a deep postseason run. The Bears are in an interesting phase, and while they might not be directly involved with Allen's next team, understanding his situation helps us better analyze the league and, of course, what it means for their future. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on Keenan Allen's possible landing spot? Do you think he still has what it takes to be a difference maker, or do you believe his best days are behind him? Are you excited about the Bears' current roster, or do you wish they'd make more moves to bring in veteran help? Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and, of course, to the future of the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, rumors, and deep dives into everything happening in the NFL, especially around your beloved Bears. So stay tuned, stay engaged, and let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with more of the latest Chicago Bears news and analysis.